Am I going mad? Or did the word think escape your lips?
Hey pals, welcome to another episode of the Plot Pals podcast.
You were not hired for your brains, you hippopotamic landmass!
Welcome to a super special episode where I bring in my favorite movie once again.
Ooh, another favorite
This
movie of yours.
usually happens. Yes, we talk about a favorite movie and then we forget about all the others. But this one is really my favorite. It's a movie you can watch anytime, anywhere with any family member of any age. In fact, it's got drama, adventure, politics, funniness, good characters, romance, fight scene, swordplay, piracy, jealousy, and everything that you can think of.
Fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles.
Doesn't sound too bad.
It's a great movie.
That was
and
beautiful.
it's called
Princess Bride.
It's one of those things that it doesn't matter if you're 8 or 81, there's things for you to enjoy in there. And it's so sincerely funny. Like, I can't believe.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes?
Morons.
Really?
And it's like so classic, as you say, that some of the scenes have stayed with people and they become so famous.
Farm boy, polish my horse's saddle. I want to see my face shining in it by morning.
As you wish.
As you wish. Ah!
You may have seen that scene somewhere. And if you did, you'll agree with me that it's very romantic. When a girl asks a guy to do something and demeans them, it's like, farm boy, fetch me this.
Boy, do that.
And they say, as you wish, you know, like that's the highest level of romance that could be.
And look at the writing, guys. That's like peak of knowing the feminine mind.
Ooh.
The female fantasy, the ultimate female fantasy, is to make a man realize that he's wrong and make him admit that he's wrong.
As you wish.
Can you imagine? This is female fantasy. And then male fantasy is like adventure, going after like fighting and having an army and stuff. So it has both of these worlds in it.
Right.
It's the ultimate thing. Literally, why do you think Pride and Prejudice is so famous? It's because Mr. Darcy realizes that he did wrong and he redeems himself. And that's the ultimate fantasy of females.
But how come this guy doesn't realize he did wrong? He was right.
No,
from
he's
the
just
beginning.
like, as you wish, as you wish. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just like,
He's
yeah,
just
the woman is demeaning him and that's like being mean to him. And he's just obliging, so...
Oh, he's realizing like he's wrong to even want
Probably.
respect.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hold it. What is this? Is this a kissing book?
Keep your shirt on, let me read.
And the guy is like too fantastical to be true, but the woman is actually the main character that has all the flaws. You know, she's the one that first gives up on love, but then has this character growth and realizes that, no, I should not give up on love no matter what. I must believe in it. Wesley will come to me. My love will come to me.
Right.
Even with when odds are all against her. So she is the like flawed character here.
Although, if you think about it, what is flawed about that? So this is a movie about how love prevails death even.
Yeah.
Love, true love will save everything. But this woman, it's like her boyfriend, who in fact was not even a boyfriend, was just a farm boy.
Yeah.
He went to a ship, he got killed, and then she was crying for 5 years. And then a king proposes to her, so she accepts. And then this farm boy comes back, he's like, "You're a whore, how dare you do this to me? Were you were not loyal to me or anything?" And she's like, "You were dead. I received a letter that said you were under graves."
Right. And where were you even all these years? And what were you doing?
5 years is a
And yeah,
lifetime.
you're dusty man. Like, why should I wait for you all these years?
No.
Mock my pain.
Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something.
But at the same time, this girl vexed me so horribly. She was horrible. Oh my God. I wanted to sometimes just like punch her in the face for real. Like this girl is like, this animal is coming, right, at the guy. And she like, I understand. In that moment, I wouldn't do anything at all. I would be freezing. She's not picking up the sword or anything to do that. And she doesn't do the most, like, convenient thing either. She doesn't move out of the way. Like, go somewhere so the animal doesn't attack you at least. So this guy has to do something. No, she just stands there. And then the most frustrating thing of all, the animal, yes, goes and, like, and there's this guy that is, like, so scarred and he's, like, wounded. He has to still come, get up, and try to save her.
I know.
That was so bad.
What's up with guys going for women who are so stupid? Like, this guy is perfect. And he's going, this woman is so pessimistic. Like,
Yes.
she's in the jungle, like, we'll never make it. We might as well die here. I hate it. And yet, he falls in love more and more. What's his reason? The only thing he mentions is her boobs. He says, you have really beautiful boobs. Don't ruin it.
Wow.
But
typical. Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
shook. Like, you know, guys, there's more good women out in the world. And you always go for this girl who is, like, miserable and making your life hard. What's up with that?
No, it's the fact that she's in need. She's a damsel in distress, men like that. The fact that she's, like, weak and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that adds to the fantasy.
What the hell?
Oh,
We gotta change our...
well, that's a good
strategy.
point. The only thing that he said was mentioned was the boob. So, okay, now I understand everything. That makes sense. Every scene this woman makes everything worse and worse and worse for this guy. She keeps coming to the princess or, like, the king's office or whatever, and she's just like, Wesley will come for me. And then another scene after that. Wesley will come for me. Girl, sit your ass down. What are you doing here? Why are you trying to provoke the king? What are you trying to do, you peasant?
Literally. And the king has really good line. He's like, I would not say these things if I were you.
Yeah,
How
this girl
strong,
is
right?
dumb. And that was the reason that he almost died.
Right.
That's the reason.
Yeah, she's so simple-minded.
So
And just puts on beautiful dresses and walks in the room like...
What was that for?
Because you've always been so kind to me. And I won't be seeing you again. Since I'm killing myself once we reach the honeymoon suite.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Like, she actually has no brain. But the thing is, there's two things that are good about her. One is the tits, which we already mentioned.
Yeah.
And two is that she does gain some kind of, like, moral conscience at some point where she has a dream that people are calling her a witch. You took true love and threw it out. And in that one moment, she's like, okay, I've realized that I should have just stayed with the poor guy instead of marrying the king. So that's her moment of
But that also
redemption.
shows that, okay, all I care about is attention from people and validation from others. If they cancel me, I can, like, go after the king.
That's
already.
true.
So that also shows a lack of, like, her own mind or something.
But to be fair, though, she's described as the most beautiful woman in the whole country.
yeah, so she never had to fight for anything, really.
Exactly.
Like, everything was given to her. Everybody
Yeah.
praised her.
The privilege you gain when you're pretty is insane. People are nicer to you. They get up so you can have the seat. They give you
Yeah.
things. They give you jobs. You never have to work for anything. And yet, with all these, she's, like, at least not a snob.
That is true.
So that's kind of
That
amazing,
is
to be
so
honest.
true. Yes, exactly. But at the same time, everything that this guy goes through is due to her and, as you say, single-mindedness, which is something that I came up with as well. It's like her one-dimensionality. She's so one-dimensional. She's just like, okay, if that's Wesley will come to me. And that's it. That's the only sentence that is on her
right.
mind. And she doesn't care
Just do
what is the
something yourself.
consequence. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
She does not care about any of that.
But the choice that she makes is, I'm going to kill myself. That's
Ooh,
kind of...
that's so, like, wow.
In her mind, that's
So
the biggest.
strong.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Like, in her mind, she thinks she's so amazing for making this choice. Like, he can't have me. I'll kill myself. I will sacrifice my life.
oh,
But so dumb.
so
For
Romeo
sure.
and Juliet. Wow.
But at the same time, the guy himself is also really handsome. So it's like they go together, you know?
Yeah.
Who else would have gone with them?
Exactly.
not each other.
Exactly. So yeah, the evil of two worlds or something, whatever they say. Yeah,
Right.
they're all matching each other. That's good. So that's all my complaint, really, about it.
Single-minded.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing about it. But like other characters are so interesting.
Yeah, right.
I do not mean to pry, but you don't by any chance happen to have 6 fingers on your right hand?
Do you always begin conversations this way?
My father was slaughtered by a 6-fingered man.
I was more moved by the revenge story of that other guy than by anything that this girl did or wanted to do.
Okay, that's very true. So there's a guy who's trying to take revenge because his father was killed. When the boy was 11, his father was killed wrongly because a man refused to pay him and then decided to kill the father. And so this boy grew up learning fencing just to go take revenge on this 6-fingered man who killed his father.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
But you have to admit, this group of circus performers, those are really strong, each of them, right?
Each of them have their own strength, and we see it. And there's so much time actually given to each of them on screen.
A word, my lady. We are but poor, lost circus performers. Is there a village nearby?
Isn't it crazy? Like, each of them have this fight with the pirate, and it's like so much time is given to them.
Doing that. We can all relax. It's almost over.
You're sure nobody's follow us?
As I told you, it would be absolutely, totally, and in all other ways, inconceivable.
You usually hate bad guys, you know? Everyone does.
Yeah.
Except maybe, Anna and I do like bad guys sometimes.
Right, that is true.
But you are meant to hate them, and then suddenly you're met with these 3 mismatched guys. Why are they even hanging out?
Right.
The leader is this short, balding man who's yelling the whole time. He's like, do you want me to take you back where you came from? Unemployed? In Greenland? And everyone's like, why?
So nonchalant. Nobody cares.
No one is affected. Exactly.
And you! Friendless, brainless, helpless, hopeless!
And he's just swearing and judging everyone. And then the other 2 are, one of them was a drunk Spaniard, very talented, but he's just always drunk, so he's lost his abilities. And then a giant who's so gentle.
Wow, so
cool.
good. Oh my God.
Who rhymes as well.
And the thing is, this movie, this whole story reminds me so much of Shrek's story in general.
Okay.
If only she had the characteristics of Fiona. If she was also like a little, I don't know,
Right.
more active. She was so passive mostly. If she would also fight, that would have been good.
And fairy tale is a great point because the whole story is told through a sick boy who hates his grandpa, has to sit through a story that the grandpa tells. And then he starts to like the story more and more.
Yeah.
And like wants to hear it. So everything that we hear, we have to consider is that's the story. That's the grandpa telling it.
Book? That's right. When I was your age, television was called books.
And sometimes we cut back suddenly out of the story. And we want to see what happens too.
Which is so beautiful. I don't remember the last time I watched a movie like that's been narrated, and then this is the cool thing that happens in this movie that I've never seen, is that, yes, so if the grandpa stops, the scene stops at the most like intriguing moment, and then when he comes back to read it again, the scene repeats itself. The scene that we've seen before is going to be shown again.
And isn't it crazy how he reads a sentence one time again, right?
Yeah.
And we are so bored. We're like, oh, you already read that. What the hell? We know that. And that's how the kid reacts as well. And it makes you think that's just one sentence. Like, why? Why don't we have the patience to hear that again? Something about like we want to get to find out what happens or what it is.
She doesn't get eaten by the eels at this time.
What?
The eel doesn't get her. I'm explaining to you because you look nervous.
But also so real. That's so good, because usually when you're reading, you sometimes go back and read the sentence again, or like you're interrupted or something. So that made it extra real. That's how it goes when you're reading a story to someone.
That's true.
And the interruptions all at the best times. It was so natural. It just shows the best writing, best script that they had.
I know. Okay, before we talk about the story, maybe let's talk about the screenwriter, William Goldman. This man, we've covered 2 of his films already. You remember Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid from way back in time?
Yeah.
He
Our
wrote that.
second episode or something.
Exactly. This man, he's won 2 Oscars. He has changed writing. He's like one of the most, I guess they call him the golden screenwriter. Like he writes good stories. And he goes from writing Butch Cassidy, these kind of like really serious westerns, to something like this that is completely, making fun of fairy tale movies while also sincerely one kids movie, adult movie. So the fact that he's managing to actually sincerely tell the story is amazing.
It's incredible, but also you could see the similarities because Butch Cassidy is an adventure kind of story, and this one is that as well. And it has humor, and this one has humor. It actually has the same kind of humor. Now that I think about it, they're so similar to each other. Not really, but in the base, in principle, they're the same. In principle, they're the same. Yeah.
And he wrote the book first, and for 10, 15 years, he was trying to make it into a movie. Finally, with Rob Reiner coming along.
I see, which is what I was going to ask. So it is actually a book. Okay.
And the book is a whole other fun thing to do because it's got so many extra little bits, of course.
Very nice. And then the director. Ooh. Oh, my God.
Rob Reiner. We have talked about exactly a year ago this time. With his iconic romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally. And now he's back again. Arguably, this is a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And he usually, I guess if you look at his stories, actually it's not true at all. He also made Misery. The Misery is about this writer. He goes to some place to write. And then on the way there, he
gets a horror movie?
It is a horror movie, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He crashes his car, somebody bumps into him, he breaks his bones. And then he has to be taken care of by the woman who hit him. And this woman is obsessed with the writing. So she's like in love, always talking about it. And he thinks this is a chance for him to now start writing again in this house where he's being taken care of. But then the woman's obsession keeps turning into something more sinister until it's fully killing her, and he has to save himself from this toxic relationship with a fan.
I wonder how does that even turn out? Like, how could your obsession with writing be to a point that you get that crazy? And what does it look like? Oh my God.
It's so intense. It's horror. It's drama, it's like so different than Princess Bride. So I was going to say Rob Reiner makes mostly romantic comedies. No, that's not true.
Yeah, because wasn't this after Harry Met Sally was after this, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, because he almost gave up on romantic relationships and stuff when he was making Harry Met Sally. By the end of it, his interest was revived, basically. So I wonder how could this be before that?
At this time, probably he was just getting married. He was still in love, thinking about things. He was young. This was only his third movie at this point. He had made 2 movies that were already big hits. Another movie we should talk about of his is called This Is Spinal Tap. Yeah. It's a mockumentary of a rock band, who are going on tour together, but they don't really gel and they might break up. And so you get to see their relationship. And it's mostly improvised. Like, he got these actors and let them just be bands. Yeah. It's a funny documentary, but fake documentary.
Very nice. I like his movies so much. Like, Harry Met Sally was amazing. Obviously, everybody knows that. It's a classic, wonderful rom-com that everybody talks about all the time. And then this one as well. Still, people are talking about it, reviewing it. And it's amazing. Like, how does he make these kind of classics? He probably has a formula.
Exactly. It's just so sincere. It's not like, it's almost like it was easy for him to make it. Like, he just said, everyone put your heart into it, and it will come out.
It's so grounded. It's like, the whole vibe of it is like, now I might be a little biased, but it's so Taurus-like. And by that, I mean earth signs.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable. You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
All the earth signs. It's so earthy. It's so grounded. Everything about it. All the picture of it. Imagine the hills, the mountains, the jungles. And then there's this princess in these dresses. And then the pirates. And then not only the pirates, but also these fights, these battles. Everything. It's so earthy. And that's sincere. That's humble.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Which
not
I-
electronic in any way. It's very much like a plant. It's just growing naturally.
Yeah.
And you believe everything that you see. You love them. No one is really plotting, I guess. You even like the king.
Yeah.
Like the king is such an
Right.
asshole, right? But he walks
He's
in.
such an imbecile. He's like
Yeah.
a very stupid person, actually.
But he has his particular traits. Like he's so fabulous. He dresses well. I'm sure he's gay, by the way, but they don't mention it. And then he's also really good at figuring out what happened. When no one's there, he just like takes a step. He's like, there was a fight here. The one guy took 2 steps back, and then he was hit in the stomach. I bet my life on it.
But everybody's so over it. Keep yapping. Keep yapping.
Mighty duel.
Aye, O'Kane. I bet my life on it.
Even though he was totally right too.
Someone has beaten a giant.
Yeah,
The
how
whole
did
time.
he do that? For
And then this same king who we hate, he has a friendship with a 6-fingered man. So both of these guys we hate, right? But they have this like really mature kind of friendship where one guy's like, do you want to come to the dungeons with me to torture this guy? And the other guy's like, no, I'm so busy. I have to kill my wife. I have to plan a wedding.
oh,
I have
reminds
to-"
me of our relationship.
Yeah.
Our friendship is literally like that. Yeah.
And it's so cute. Like all these things that they're saying is horrible, but it's
Yeah.
like, and then the other guy says,
Get some rest. If you haven't got your health, you haven't got any.
you know, it's so cute. It's like so real, sincerely,
Yeah.
earthly, like you say.
Exactly. And especially both of them are like at a place that they're stable, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the other characters, they're all having something missing. They're missing something. One of them is missing their dad. The other one doesn't have like a job or a friend or anyone. Another one doesn't have a love or someone like that. So they're all missing something. Therefore, they're chaotic. Therefore, they look for fights and they look for these kind of things.
Yeah.
But these two, they have
That's
everything,
so
and
true.
they're even in times of danger, they're so relaxed. They don't go after like chaos or like something like that or fighting.
Isn't that so new? We haven't seen something like that. Usually, if there's a villain king, he's plotting in the back,
Yeah.
you know, and he has these looks.
I know.
It's never like this. Maybe that's what feels so unique.
And this is much more human, actually. You know, when you are a king, probably in this station, and you're not the first generation or the second generation or something, it's been handed to you, you inherited it. You don't care as much about keeping it, really. You take it for granted. And so do most people that have lots of wealth. At a point, like, you get over it. It's not new to you anymore. Therefore, you have this bubble that you live in, this peace of mind, and the only thing you don't want is somebody to disturb that peace of mind. That's it. And you have your hobbies. For example, that guy loves these pain tortures and machines and like that. He makes those, you know, that's a hobby. And the other guy also, like, that's how it is. And we don't see that, as you say. Mostly these ministers and kings, they're the ones plotting. But no, in reality, I imagine this is how it would go.
Right. And it's so beautiful. One scene, this king is giving orders to this like servant beside him, the soldier. And already the way they play it is so funny. Like first the soldier puts his arm on, and then the king like, take your arm off, it's mine. But other than that, the soldier is like, sir, it can't be done. We can't clear all the areas of the bad people. You know, it's
Right.
impossible. And the king sincerely looks at him and he's like, try ruling the world sometime.
Oh, that's so cheesy. Oh my,
So good. Because, like, first of all, I mean, this king is not ruling at all. Like, he's having fun the whole time.
exactly. That's why it's so
But the fact that,
So
like,
funny.
he says that and fully he means it.
He
you
means
know?
it,
He's
right?
like,
That's the funny part of it all. Oh my!
so beautiful. And then after that guy goes and gets all the criminals
That
out of
guy
the street.
gives a look to the king too. Like he realized, what are you talking about?
It's just so full of these little moments. Like, I'm so glad that they put them in.
And they even had a scene where that Wesley guy, he's like, oh, you have to give me a month in advance to like plan everything and all that. That's when you realize that, yes, that's the case. Like these people are lacking something. They're chaotic, therefore, as we said. And that's why they always are in their mind. They're plotting, they're scheming, they're planning, they have to fight, they do these things. But then those kings and everyone, they have the peace of mind. They don't care about these kind of things at all.
So interesting. But why do you think he's trying to start a war then? The king, he wants to kill the woman, so start a war with Gilda.
Oh, God. Oh, I wonder. Because like he doesn't get affected anyway. He's always going to be in his castle. He's still going to get his money and tax money and everything. It's just play for him, like a hobby.
Exactly.
So, yeah, he's never going to see the battle scene at all.
Fascinating. And this torture hobby is so funny too, because this man has the machine that is like really painful. It literally kills you. And then the person who is running the machine is like this white-haired, I don't know, he's like a troll. He looks like so bad. And he's like, this is the pit of despair, you know. And then he's just like, sorry about that. That was something in my throat. Yeah, this is the pit of despair. I just wanted to let you know. Like, just so many little things.
Oh my God. Because you expect from a fairy tale or something for the actors or the characters to sound like that. But then, it's so good.
Like, I can pinpoint so many moments that are funny. Another one in the same thing scene is like, the torture thing has levels, right? It starts from level 1, and the guy makes a point to say like, I'm only gonna go to level 1 because it's really strong. Level 1, he's crying, everything, and the king walks in, he puts a level 50. He's like, not to 50. No. And then it kills him. But like, it's just, I don't know how did they make it so funny? I don't get it.
Yeah, and the best part is that when it goes to 50, he shouts so much they find out where they were.
Yes, that's amazing. Exactly.
That's so insane.
And that makes them have to go to Miracle Max
to
bring him back to life.
Which makes me think, does that world have a lot of magic and these kind of things also? Well, the miracle guy turned out to be a scam.
Did he?
Yeah, at the end he was like with his wife, you know.
That's so interesting that you think that.
Yeah, he said I guess they said.
He said it would take a miracle.
Yeah,
which means he doesn't even believe his own
exactly.
work. But like the guy was dead, Wesley. He had no heartbeat, and then as soon as he ate that chocolate, suddenly he became alive.
Wonder. Why did they have to have these kind of stuff, like magic involved in it?
I wonder. Well, I really love that they physically show like love can bring back from the dead.
Right.
Even if you are done fully, you can be revitalized. So that was fun. And it was also fun with the witch guy himself. Like, I don't know, Miracle Max.
So you're probably playing cards, and he cheated.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
Get back, witch!
I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. But after what you just said, I'm not even sure I want to be that anymore.
You never had it so good.
All of these, like, everything is really good. The only thing I don't buy is this moral lesson that they're trying to shove in our throats, that love will prevail everything. And we know that. And we love this kind of thing. Even in Interstellar, remember? We said, I wish they would have like gone more into this area and showed actually that is the truth. Love will prevail everything else. But here it was like, do they actually love each other? Like, obviously both of them are so physically attractive. And that girl just... And you say now that she was 13 or 14. So she doesn't know.
For itself.
Yeah, exactly. We don't even have to talk about that. And then also, this guy is like, have been under this girl all the time. Like, he has been the subordinate, and he has been looking up to this girl. And then, yes, they get together and things like that. But do they know each other? Do they know all the flaws that they have?
Exactly.
Do they love each other despite it? What is it exactly?
Their love is so shallow, actually.
It's too shallow, yeah.
But, you know, I think it's more about every kind of love that they show. So one guy loved his dad. This giant likes the friendship. These two like, whatever, the beauty of each other. And then the grandpa and grandson like hanging out, finally.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that kind of like deeper level of love.
I think so.
Other than just this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, yes, I think the moral of the story is that, because at first, that boy doesn't even like his grandpa at all. She's like to his mom, I don't like my grandpa to come here. He always like picks my cheeks or something like that. And the grandpa comes and he does that and his gives this look to his mom. And then by the end, he's like, come tomorrow too, and like read it to me, don't go.
That's amazing. When we got to the kiss, remember they described the kiss like this is one of the best kisses in the world, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, how are they gonna end the movie now? Because it's been a really good movie, but you need a punch at the end. Like, are you gonna say they lived happily ever after? What are you gonna show me that I walk away remembering it? And they show the perfect thing. They couldn't have done a better thing, which is the kid says to Grandpa, can you come back again tomorrow to read it? And Grandpa says, as you wish, which means I love you. They already mentioned that in the movie. Whoa, the tears were rolling down my eyes. Like, you gotta know how to end the movie, really.
Right.
So crucial.
So important.
And they killed it.
As you wish. What is the importance of this phrase, as you wish?
In a funny scene at the beginning, they say every time that the farm boy was saying as you wish, what he really meant was I love you. They say that and you kind of laugh like, okay, sure, that's so on the nose, but okay, thanks for telling me. And then every time, a few more times he mentions as you wish, so it kind of becomes a phrase that you remember.
Yes.
And then when it ends with this, it's of course a sign of respect. Like, as you wish means I will do what you want me to because I love you. And then the subtext is fully, I love you.
As you wish. I guess that's the thing, you know, for example, when you love someone so much, you would become little. You would step on your pride. You would do whatever they say, you know, despite whatever is the reason or the rationale behind it. Like, you would do anything for them. And that's the thing. But wouldn't that have to be also both ways? Like, doesn't that woman also have to respect this guy enough as well? She, for example, when they were in the jungle and after everything and they got to the king, she just does save the guy, but she's so like stupid that she thinks that this king will help Wesley or like let him escape. That's so crazy to me. Like, she's not really, I guess, there for this guy that much as she thinks. Or like maybe she doesn't have the mental capacity to realize that you can't trust the king with that.
At that point, she thought they had no other choice because the king had multiple men with horses around them and the king was saying, come surrender. And so she thought, if I just surrender myself, maybe they will take care of him.
Yeah, but later too, like, these are the letters, please give to this guy, like, and if he comes by that time, I would go.
That's crazy that she would talk to the king about this.
Yeah.
Who wants to marry her. But again, 13-year-olds, like, it's a different brain stage. Seriously.
I think
you can't
so.
judge.
Exactly. But that guy, it shows his maturity and everything. And yes, so he says that, as you wish, which is so memorable and so beautiful.
And another really memorable line is, I am Ennio Montana, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Oh, yes. yes, he says that so many times. And each time it gets louder and more powerful.
So cool. Yeah, you think that saying the same line over, it would be so boring, but every time he gives it a new delivery. It's very unique.
Wow, oh my God. You know, the one thing that they say in script writing is that most people, amateur writers, would think that you should just say something and then get over it, like a line and then get over it. But actually, the best screenwriters or the most memorable scenes are those that you repeat a line in a way that people actually remember it after that. You repeat one line so many times, or like you make it rhyme, or something that kind of like clicks in people's mind. And it just like locks in. So they did this literally here. It's so on the nose. As You Wish and also this one. That's why it's so memorable.
Right. But it works. Even though it shouldn't, because it's like 10 times he says it. But because in this case he was dying and then the words actually give him strength.
Yeah.
Because he's been practicing it all these years. It ends up working. And by the way, the sword fight. Do you remember the sword fight he had with the man in black?
Yes.
That's one of the most iconic scenes in stunt history, actually.
Really?
Like, in a comedy, they managed to do such a good job that it's like one of those scenes that is in the compilation of this is so well choreographed.
Right.
And the actors were fighting themselves, too.
No, are you kidding me? That was so beautiful. And like, how many takes did it take? Oh my God, they went all around the scene, the field, and they did crazy stuff. And then the lines were so, and the scene was so long too. Like, it was just, they go fight one round, and then suddenly one of them says, "Oh, but I got news for you. I'm not a left-handed." Then they start fighting with the right hand, and then the other guy says that, and so the scene is so long, and they go on forever.
And even the fact that they do left-hand fighting, that's so interesting. Left-handed people were usually killed. At that time, they thought this was the work of the devil. You're weird. And then for this movie to actually say, like, fighting left-hand is cool. This was the 80s. Who knows how they thought back then. There used to be no tables for left-handed people in schools, no scissors. So the fact that this movie takes a whole area of time dedicated to both of these people are really good at fighting with their left hand, that they start a battle to the death with it.
Ooh.
Like, just seeing
how good they are.
Representation matters, just seeing a person fight with their left hand, like, that's very important.
I don't think that's what they meant, though, with that. What they meant was that they're such good sword fighters that they could even do it with their left hand.
Exactly. Almost like an insult. But it's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's just not about these things.
Because if you notice, like, if you watch a lot of movies, you see a lot of people are right-handed.
Yeah.
Like, and even if they're left-handed, they just film it in the right-handed way. And then maybe 1 in 100 movies, you see somebody's left-handed.
I see.
Which is, like, fair, because in real life, that's also the case. Like, most people use their right hand mostly. But every time you see somebody use their left hand, that's like a choice that the director made, or the actor happened to be left-handed. But it's not common. Like, if you now start noticing that in movies, most everything takes place with the right hand.
Wow. And the thing is, like, the fact that these actors even learned to do it with their left hand.
I know. That's so incredible.
How did they do that? How did these people do this? When I was watching that scene, I was like, wow, some actors just take it to the next level. Like, do they have these skills just, like, in their resume, just like that?
Yeah, they learn apparently 8 months or some very long number of months, 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Which is very similar to Dango that we just talked about. These actors all learned wrestling for the film by exercising.
My God, the lengths people take for these things. And imagine, like, you get casted a year before, and then you practice just that skill for 8 months before even start filming it. Wow.
And to impress you even more, the actor Wesley, guess how old he was when he filmed this movie?
30?
30 is your guess?
Yeah.
He was 23.
23?
He was my age. Can you believe it? He was such a man. He was so strong and, like, mature and smart. And to think he was just a boy. It's insane.
He was really a farm boy. Oh my God.
I can't buy this. 23. I mean, I know how I feel as a 23-year-old. And to lead a whole movie like that is insane.
30 was a whole reach. Like, that was too much. I thought mostly like 26 and like 27, like late 20s, like really late 20s.
Yeah.
Not 23. 23-year-olds don't look like that.
I know.
Does anybody in your university look like that?
Man, I wish. No. So maybe people just looked different back then.
Oh, I guess so. Wow.
By the way, the girl, she was 19 when they made this movie.
Oh, I see.
I'm 4 years older than she was at that time. She's like a full woman, I don't know, maybe because she was tall, maybe because, again, women, her hair grew different at that time. But she's like so mature and pretty and like, wow, she was just 19. It's a kid.
Wow. But that's also more believable than this guy. Like, this guy at all, I can't comprehend like how it is. How he is 23.
I know, right? He just has this aura that is not a 23-year-old.
So he is so handsome. Oh my God.
And the smile that he has.
And he's a blondie. Like, no, the thing is, nobody, like, women are not that attracted to blonde women. Men, sorry.
Okay.
There are some, but mostly they're not. But this guy is just like Leonardo DiCaprio level, His hair is even like him when he was young.
And he is British too. He has this accent in real life.
Oh my God. He is too good. So handsome.
But imagine this movie was made 37 years ago. So he's like 50
Is
plus.
he? Even better. That's good. That's even better.
There's literally so much that we didn't talk about with this movie. You gotta watch it for yourself and then rewatch it and rewatch it and keep rewatching it and memorize every line. By the way, celebrities who loved this movie and who wanted to do something good for charity recreated this movie shot by shot, line by line.
Whoa!
Like hundreds of celebrities. Each of them shot a little piece in their home. And it's so engaging.
How would they do that?
It's actually so well done. Oh my god.
What about the fight scenes or something?
Yeah, they recreated with Legos, with like all the techniques they had. And it's like all the actors like so many famous
When
people.
was this?
I think this was around COVID times. During COVID probably.
Yeah, lots of unemployment and free time.
Yeah, and you can see like some people did really good impressions, some people did something new, but you can watch the whole movie there made at home with like so many different people.
Oh, that's so interesting. Gotta check it out. Where could we find it?
YouTube. It's available on YouTube.
Yes.
It's called The Princess Bride Homemade Movie. Home movie.
DIY. Yes. That's good. Wow, I did not know that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was just the animal. It looked so bad.
Rodents of unusual size.
Oh, yes.
I don't think they exist. Immediately attacked.
It was so bad. Clearly it was a human in that suit, and it was just so creepy. Oh my god, it was like a giant mouse. It's too much.
I know, it looked very unrealistic, but I bought that because the world itself allows this kind of thing to exist, and you buy it. Like, I didn't want a CGI mouse there.
Yeah,
I like that it was like creepy guy in a mask.
That was good. No, I bought it too. I was just like creeped out, and it was disgusting to see that kind of animal. That's it. But they did such a good job for the time. Yeah. Did they have CGI at the?
No.
Yeah,
1987.
No,
struggling.
So yeah, exactly. But they did such a fantastic job in making you buy that reality and everything in it, that whole world. That's a very crazy thing to do. So ambitious.
So check out this movie as soon as you can, and we'll watch it again. I'm sure if it comes to theaters, I'll be the first person in that first row.
Oh yeah, probably each anniversary they just come out in theaters.
Okay,
as well.
so 3 years. We have 3 years until the 40th anniversary.
Oh, good. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and recommend us any other movie that you have in mind. We would love to review it and talk about it.
Other adventure films, other interesting drama, sword fight, piracy, romance. We love that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Thank you so
again.
much.
Bye.
See you next week.